All right, I've got buckets and buckets of deer legs from the deer butcher, and I'm cleaning them to make sinew, knife handles, little necklace ornaments, arrow inserts, just all kind of stuff can come from these. The knife handle can come from the bone. Now, how I do it, I have my vise set up so that it goes in there, and basically I have a hook blade that roofers use, go in between the toe, come down the hide. Now I'm keeping this hide too because I'm going to make rawhide, and I'm going to tan some of it for handle wraps and knife cases. I'm going to have all this for sale on my Etsy store. Once I get everything done and stocked, I'm going to get my Etsy store back up and running. I'm going to have Flint Ridge flint. I'm going to have Texas heat-treated flint ridge, some obsidian slabs, and all kinds of stuff like that you would need to make primitive knives. Now, some of this will just be as rawhide, because you can use it to wrap, for bindings. You just soak it. I'm not going to do the part where you leave it in a bucket to rot, because that takes some of the strength away. I'm going to salt it, scrape the fur, dry it, dry scrape the fur, dry scrape the hide, and that's going to be the rawhide. There. I'm going to take it out of the vise. Trying to make sure you can see everything without my big head or hands getting in the way. And then I hang it down here. It's set for the knuckle. Pull it down. I was using my knife, but I had to sharpen it so many times. I went to Harbor Freight and I got this thing with 18 razor blades for $3. I don't have to sharpen. I just use it till it's gone, and then get a new one. Now, this is the piece of hide you get, and it's really strong hide. I've made bowstrings out of it before, but dried, scraped, not processed like most people make rawhide, put it in a bucket until it rots. You got to stretch this dry, scrape it dry, scrape the fur dry, and then it's good and strong. And you can use 3 of these, twist them together, and make a bowstring. And it's really strong and flexible. A fire string, if you cut around and around and around and around, that's how you get length. Now, sometimes, this has these needle bones. So what I do, I save these because they're good. They make fish hooks. You can make a fish hook out of it. You can make sewing needles. You can make awls. You just slice down this back of this dew claw. Try not to hit the bone so you don't dull your knife. And that piece comes out. And that's got that bone in it. It's really, even now it's not dry. It's pretty tough. So I save them, and you can see on these they got these little claws. I'll let these boil, and then I'll lay them on the ground and let nature do its thing, and I'll have little clackers for necklaces and stuff, keychains. There we go. Let's do the other one. Just slip it under there so you don't cut your sinew. Come up, put it back in the holder. It used to take me a lot longer to do these, but with this vise method and the hook and the razor blade, I go through them pretty fast. And then to get the sinew, you slice down along. Usually, hook this in here, take my hook blade, and I come right down along that bone so I don't cut my sinew to get it loose from the bone. And you do the other side. Yeah, I'm going fast because this is, I mean, in order to be economically viable, you got to go pretty fast because, you know, sinew, people buy sinew and it's, you know, it goes for a pretty decent price. But if you can't get, you know, a lot of it in an hour, you know, it's not really worth doing. It's going to be hard to see, but now what I'm going to do, I cut this loose here, and I'm going to show you without, and then I pull, you see how that is? And it pulls that foot up, and it pulls the sinew up in here. This foot down on, this sinew down on the hoof is just not worth going after for me. So I pull that up tight, squish my hand in there. Now you can't really see it, but I'll try and do it this way. I'll put the razor blade in behind, slice down, and turn it. And that gets me all the usables, because after this point, it hooks together right here. And even though this is longer, it won't come apart, in my experience. I mean, there might be other guys that do get that to come apart, but the time it takes is not worth the extra inch of sinew. Because you got to crank this out. I get, you know, this butcher shop guy I get these from, he does a lot of deer. And if I could, I haven't been able to do all the deer that he gets any year yet. I would like to, because he processes you know, he's like the only processor, I want to say, in this whole, you know, miles around area. He's the only one. So he gets, anybody that gets their deer butchered, he's doing it. And I don't like to, let me clamp this. This is, you have to be careful when you're clamping it, because that bone is a product too. When this bone is done, I'll do this one all the way so you can see what ends up being. Now you got two good, you see these are like pure sinew on the front. They're smaller, but they don't have that big casing on them. So they're like pure sinew. And usually, if I'm making a bowstring, what I do is I'll pick these pieces, you know, for the length of my string, 6 inches, you know, 8 inches. I'll take like 10 of these. When I twist them up, they'll be the right diameter for a bowstring. Just my tricks, you know. Everybody has their own thing, but if you're just starting in this, you know, nobody knows it all, and I don't want to pretend like I know it all. And I'm doing the same thing here. I'm pulling, and it's going to pull the hoof up. Let me show you here. You could see this one. I put this in, and I pull. You see, it pulls that hoof down. I'm all nervous because of the video. It pulls that hoof down, and it pulls out, once it goes down to the toe that gets all knotty and stuff, it pulls that toe down, and you can just cut up and get the whole usable part, and then pull down. I don't know why this bone's being so complicated. You pull down and you pull off. You see, that's the perfect sinew, and I would line them up, you know, for my bowstring, and that would be a really good bowstring. Now, I personally like dogbane more because it's lighter than sinew, but and I never had a dogbane I never had a dog bane or sinew break. Now, there's a muscle on the side of here, a tendon, that you got to cut. So you got to cut this. I'm going to get my hook knife. You got to cut this around this, I don't know what they call it, but you got to cut around, then you turn it over, cut across the top. And I still got it on the side. And just keep going at it a little bit. This stuff that holds this, I really think this is the hand. It's not really the ankle. Together is really strong. As you can see, there's only one little thing in there, and I can't break it. It has to be cut. Now, I've done about 20 of these, all the way down to being clean. And I got them boiling out there so that I can have some for handles. Now, just like people, you know, some deer are longer than others, taller. So you get this, you've got a nice handle. Now, if you make a knife handle, cut it in the middle, and you'll get 2 knife handles. Or, if you want to make a tomahawk handle, what I do is do this end, and I cut here, set that blade in, wrap it with the leg fur, and that is a good handle. But that's how I clean the deer legs. I got a lot to do, and it's make sure you wear gloves, because you know this is dead animals. It's not exactly fresh because it takes a while to do them. Don't chew your sinew. Even if you do them fresh, don't chew your sinew. You don't know what kind of things that deer might have. Anything, you know, wild, uncooked, I don't agree with. So now I'll give you a view. Down there's what I've done in like an hour. And then there's the sinew. And over there is a pile more to do. So we got 20-minute video. I think that was pretty good. It took a little longer because I wanted to show you what to do. And, you know, have a good time. See you on the next video. And remember, Sticks and Stones, and my Etsy store is Sticks and Stones also. I don't have any stock in there yet, but it's coming. Off in the distance. You can see the little light. You can't see my finger. There we go. We're going to walk over. I got the bones. Some of the bones boiling. And, oh yeah, they're boiling now. And I've got different bones in here, not just the leg bones. There's bones in here that are the ulna. And there's bones in here that are the actual thigh bone and stuff. They're all thicker. They all have different issues. There's scapulas. And I plan on using them for different things. All of it will be on my store. I don't know how to say, but these deer bones absolutely smell amazing. I wish they were edible. I guess I could get them early and, you know, right after he butchers them, go helping for a day. Get good fresh ones and make bone broth. All right, here's the rest of what I got to do tonight. There's probably like 20 left, which would be pretty good for me. And got some of the deer jaws. The butcher's wife makes the European mounts. And, you know, if the person that got the deer don't want the jaw, I got them. Makes good saws and knife handles. You know, you could chop this off right where my thumb is and put a knife blade in there. I saw a movie called Bone Tomahawk. They had these from, I'm going to say a horse or a donkey, and they were throwing them and, you know, doing their caveman cannibal thing with them. Which I guess if you had a horse one, it would make a pretty cool tomahawk.